So today we're looking at wind shifts. What are they and what can we do about them? That is a big one. Let's change our course there, and how to predict them as well. That's coming up too. How to predict them really easily and at no cost. Just stick around for that one. Wind shifts come in various types, like gusty, oscillating, landforms, tidal, even Coriolis. But today we're looking at persistent shifts and how you can predict them and what you can do about them. That one is beautiful. Look at that. We're just lifting up, which is pointing closer towards the wind. It's called a lift, whereas when it makes us turn away from the wind, it's called a knock. Let's have a look at it in more detail.
So now if we head over to our whiteboard just to have a quick look at what's going on, and our wind is coming down the page, we will start at our bottom mark down, which is downwind, and our top mark, which is upwind, and then we look at two sample courses. So we've got a port tacker, and they're going to head out on port tack, obviously, and then do a tack, and then head up there, and I'm going to give it some reference points. So at reference point 1, that might be a distance, or it might be a time, might be minutes, might be kilometres, it doesn't really matter. And then you've got those 4 reference points. Let's have a look if we went out on starboard tack. And I'm not suggesting that you actually do this because there's better ways, but it's equal if you go either way. Well, almost equal, because the boat that's gone out on starboard has actually got 3 tacks, whereas the boat on port tack started on port tack has only got the 1 tack at the corner. It's probably much better to actually do a course up the middle, but we'll come to that in a moment. Clean up the board a little bit here, and our wind is coming down the page. Now just say, for instance, that we got out to a little bit out there, and this one's got out to about the same spot, and then we had a fairly significant wind shift that's come in from the right-hand side. Let's have a look at what effect that has on the 2 courses. We'll start with our port tacker. So it's hit this new wind that's coming now directly towards it, and it gets if it continues to sail on that tack, then it's a massive knock, and it's a knock because we're now sailing further away from where we were going. So we were going this way, but now we're going that way, and it's further away from a mark and our original wind. However, we could do a tack, and then we would be on a massive lift and potentially heading directly towards our mark. What about our our starboard tacker? It's quite happily sailed out here, and it's gone past position 1, and it's sailed right out to position 2, and by now our wind has actually gone a bit further. So our starboard tacker has now got it's got a fantastic lift because it's now can go in this direction, but unfortunately it's nowhere near where we need to go, which is that mark up there. And if it does a tack, then it's heading over there, which is almost back towards where it came from, which is just so bad. Let's have a look at where that would be in position 3. It would be there, or if at position 3 up here, and then at position 4, well, it's sort of, I don't know, it might not even be there. It might even be worse than that. Whereas if we look at our red boat, it's already at this spot at position 1 because it had a lovely tack and then a lovely lift going that way. Position 2, it's already there. Position 3, it's around the mark, and position 4, it's heading towards the next mark. Absolutely way ahead. Let's just have a look at that again. So our boat on port tack has just got this tacked at that spot, and then just got this beautiful lift all the way up and around and gone down, as compared to our starboard tacker that's just merrily sailed out here and then been faced with an absolutely awful position with the new wind now coming from that direction, does it sail on the lift and go up here, which is not where it wants to go because it wants to go towards the mark, or does it tack and then just sail on a massive knock back roughly in the direction that where it came from before it finally can go up this up the new direction up to the top mark? Sailed almost, so a green boat, poor old green boat here, has sailed almost twice as far as the red boat. The red boat's heading down here and our green boat is still trying to go around the mark. Oh my gosh. So what's the rules? New breeze, persistent shift. Go towards the new breeze. And then you'll be in a position to take the lift tack. This is only one video of several in the for the shifts. We've got persistent shifts, we've got oscillating shifts, we've got landforms. They're all coming. Stick around, or even better, jump over onto the 2-sail sailing simulator and try the time trial. So I've got the persistent shift up there already. See how good you go.
You can predict the wind shift by looking at other boats, either on the course or even further away, further up the harbour or further away. But we're looking today at forecast. We're looking at windy.com. And I'm based in Sydney, so it's turned up in Sydney, but this actually works all over the world. Let's scroll across here and have a look and see what we can find. We're going to look at Marseille. If I can find it and zoom in a little bit and look at where the Olympics are. And what we do with Windy is, what you can do with Windy anyway, is you can click on a spot. Let's just look a little bit further up here around Bandol area. Do double click on the spot and that gives you a little marker as to that particular location. There's a down arrow which brings up this weather and wind and all sorts of various things down the bottom, which shows you all the detail, but it's super hard to get a quick glance on it. So let's see what's going on. But we're in basic mode here down in the very bottom left-hand corner. If we roll across to wind, then what it does for us is it brings up these little flags out of our direction. Currently we're looking at 9 a.m. Let's just bump through to 12 p.m. and see which way those flags rotated. Let's go back. So we'll look for the majority of them. So if we look at these three, Icon, Metro and ECM, and then we roll through to a bit later in the day, we can see that all of them have tended towards the right, except for Aromi, which is an outlier. So that's a possibility too. Wind's a bit like that. But for my guess, on the next few hours, I would be looking for a right-hand wind shift. And that means that we generally stick towards the right-hand side of the course. Doesn't mean that we have to go right to the edges. Just stay on the right side of the other boats, the right side of the fleet. That will give you the advantage. And if you see the new wind coming, go for it. So if we look at tomorrow's racing as an example, 6 a.m, that's our flags, and we're looking to see if they move towards clockwise or generally move towards anti-clockwise. Looking at them at 6 a.m, let's roll through to 1 p.m, and it looks like they're going right. So you would be going towards, if you had a balance of everything else being equal, you'd be looking at heading towards the right-hand side of the course. So I'm using the free 2-sail sailing simulator app to demonstrate this permanent shift or persistent shift, and I'd like you to come and join us. Just jump in, go play, and then public, and then we'll go to time trials, which are up here in the top left-hand corner. Scroll through all of our time trials down to the bottom, and we have here a permanent shift to the right, and you need to try it both ways. So this particular one, let's just click on the eye and that clears the screen, makes it way easier to look at. This particular one, we've got auto sail. Let's pull that on and start, and then all we do is we drag our steering for the right and the left. That boat's just tacked away. It reckons that it's a right-hand shift. And we've got a choice. We can go up the middle if we wanted to, or we can follow that boat. And it looks like they're already in the new wind, which is actually pretty cool. So let's just see if we... Oh, there it is for us too. Oh, tack, tack. That's a huge change. Let's tack and see what we're aiming at. Look at that. We're almost aiming at the next mark. That is awesome. Another boat coming up fairly close to us just there. It didn't stay on that other course for too long, and we're not too far behind that leader that went right straight away. Let's just stay with it for a bit and see what happens as we get up towards the mark, because that will be when it really makes a difference, and we can drag on the sailor's head and look at what's going on. We are way ahead. Look at that other boat right down there. Way ahead of that other boat that decided to stay going left when we had that right-hand shift. The other three of us are not too far away from each other. We're not doing too badly. Let's just drag back on that sailor's head and come in for a closer view and see what's going on here. So that boat that went right at the beginning, it's still not too far away from it just there. And I need to keep looking over my shoulder here to see where that mark is. Yep, I think I can give it a go at that. Let's try it. Go through the no-go zone, and I think we might be able to lay that mark. Oh, that's pretty cool. So we've actually gained up some ground on that lead boat. Pull our mainsail in a little bit too. There's actually a leech ribbon there, and that will help us to see what's going on. That's another one coming up. Don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe, and the like button. It helps us a lot. Now where's that other boat that oh, look at that. We are away. That rest of the fleet is gone. Eat my dust. From me, Kingsley at Two Sail, happy sailing.